Hello! Right, I am Arcade Crossfire, or Simon. You can call me whatever you want though. If that's a mean name, you crack on. I am starting a new series of tutorials purely for Serum. So, if that interests you, then come join me. Come join me in my adventures. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this patch. I won't be sticking it up for a straight download because then you're not going to really learn anything or better your lives in any way possible. So here we go. This is what we've been making. Pretty nice, right? It's not bad. It's not the greatest, but it's nice. It's deep. It's got a little bit of wobble going about it. It's a bit lively and it's a bit involved. So what you're going to want to do, get that lovely initial preset going on and turn on your sub, your noise, your A and your B. Turn all those on. Right, we'll start with A. You want to go into Spectral and load up Squelchy 1 and drop it down a couple of octaves, and with the unison take that to 3. Detune it ever so slightly, bring that in nice and tight, about 0.8, 0.7, somewhere around there. And then take the blend up to about 85, that sort of area. Phase, take that down to about 140. If it's not spot on, it doesn't really matter. And then the randomness of the phase can go to around about 30%. Your wavetable position, you're going to leave that there because we're going to be controlling that with macros and LFOs. The warp function, you want to be taking it from the FM for the sub, and take that up to about 10-12%, somewhere around that area. And the level on it, bring that all the way down to 10, 13, somewhere around there. Right, oscillator B, you want Spectral again, and you want Trilobite 3. And we're going to drop that down 1 octave. Take the unison all the way up to 12. Get it nice and wide, nice load of voices, a lot of action going on with it. That's what we like. Detune, can leave where it is. Blend, you can leave where it is, or you can take it up to 80. Doesn't really matter. Phase, take that up pretty far, about 260, 255, somewhere around that area. And then the phase randomness all the way up once again. And wavetable position on it, quite high up, about 115, that sort of area. And then we're going to take the warp to we're going to want the FM from the sub again, at take that to about 20-25%, and the level, bring it all the way down to about 9. That's there your oscillator's done. Right, the sub, you want 2 octaves down, level all the way down. Noise, you want to turn on your one shot and your pitch track in. What you're going to want is miscellaneous attacks and snap number 1, and you'll leave the phase there. Phase randomness at 0 as well. Pitch, take that to 12, and then the level about 20%. so it's not too overbearing for us. Right, to the filter, turn your filter on, turn on. You want A and B feeding into it and the noise into it as well. You want normal, MG low 24. Turn the cut off all the way there, all the way to the end. Turn the drive all the way up, and then the fatness all the way up. Now on the LFOs, on the first one, this is what's going to be controlling your filter. So you're going to want to turn the trigger on, BPM on, anchor on. Leave the rate at 1/4. Take that, link it to the filter cutoff, the filter drive, filter fatness, and the filter mix. Bring them all the way down to -50. And that's that. That's that for the first LFO. Right, LFO number 2. Trigger on, BPM and anchor on. You want the rate right down 8 bars for the rate. And then we're going to link that to the warp on oscillator A. Bring that down to around 15, around that sort of area. And then you're going to want to change the shape of the LFO to get it so it's like that, and then bring that center dot all the way down to that first horizontal line that meets with the center line, and that's that LFO done. The third LFO, this is what's going to be helping to control your effects, and we'll come back to that later on. But for now, again, you're going to want the trigger on, BPM and anchor on. Take the rate to up to 1/8, and then we'll leave that where it is for now. Velocity, we're going to be using that today with this. You're going to want to double click round about there to get another point, and then this central dot here, you're going to want to bring that down just so it's just above the line on that, just so it's above the axis there. And we are going to be connecting this to the level on the sub, the level on the noise oscillator on A, and the B level as well. And we'll bring the sub down to around 85, the noise right down to 50, and your A level down to around 65, and your B level down to around 55. Now to the envelopes, you can use whichever one you want. So I'm going to use envelope number 2 just for a bit of a laugh. Hold, decay, sustain, stay where they are. Release, take that down to 0. Decay, take that down to 0 as well, sorry. And then take your attack to around 500 milliseconds. If you can get it spot on, that's great, but if not, it's fine. If you can get it closer under, then go under. If you can get it closer over, then go over, but that's all you can do. And then we're going to link this to the filter cutoff as well, and we're going to bring that back. So that's sitting at 850, and take that up to around 35. and then go back to LFO1 and then change the LFO modulation on the filter cutoff right back to the other side. And that's everything on this side so far. That's your envelope sorted, your filters are done, LFOs are done, everything's wicked. Right, effects. This is where we help it to take a bit more shape. We're going to use the hyper and the dimension, distortion, your flanger or your flanger, whatever you call it, your phaser, and the EQ. The hyper, turn the mix all the way down because we're not going to need that at all. Dimension, you're going to want the size to be about 65, and the mix is going to be really low, somewhere around 10%, or you can do that to your taste. And then distortion, we're going to be using the X shaper. Now you're going to need to draw a couple of custom shapes. So what you do, you'll draw it in here. I'll show you what you've got to draw now. On the first, on A, you're going to need this, just a nice little notch. I've got this from another tutorial on YouTube, but you know, that's it. So yeah, copy that in. And then on B, gonna need another custom shape, which is just that. It's pretty easy. Stay hydrated as well. H2O gang. And then with the drive, take that all the way up. Same with the mix. Your flanger and your phaser, you want the BPM on both turned on, so the rate will match the speed of your song. So we're at a quarter, and the depth on your flanger, take that to around 20-25%. Feed even lower, about 10 or 12%. Phase, fuck that off, don't want it. Mix, leave that all the way up, crank it. Right, phaser, 25% on the depth again. Keep it quarters, it's nice. Frequency, throw that all the way up. Feed, really fucking low, between 5 and 10%. And then the phase again, piss it off, don't want it. EQ, you want to leave it on the low shelf and the high shelf. For the low shelf, we want the frequency at around about 120 Hertz. Yeah, perfect. And the Q, leave that where it is at 60, and the gain, take that all the way up, give that a boost up to around 11.5 decibels. For the high shelf, we want it to be around 4,950, but you can't get it there, so anywhere within that sort of area is alright. Take the Q, take that down, take your Q down to about 12-15%, and then gain, boost that up by about 5 decibels, and that's your main effects work sorted. Right, the third LFO, select that, and we are going to be linking that to the effects. So you want that linked up to the mix on the phaser, mix on the flanger, mix on your distortion, and your mix on your drive. You want your drive going down to 50 on your distortion mix to 50, your flanger mix all the way and your phaser mix going all the way, and that's your effects sorted, that's dusted. We like that. Right, go back to your oscillators, and we're going to be fucking around with the macros and the mod wheel, so get ready for some fucking fun. Right, go to your first LFO. We're gonna take your first macro, connect this to the rate on the first LFO. I don't know why it does this, but it, you know, it's really annoying. So take it all the way to fast, and then remove it, and then reattach it. Take it back to a quarter. Back to a quarter. There we go. And then move that to 14. So we'll go up to around an eighth, and then that's that done. We'll name that filter cutoff, and then you can make your automation clips with this. Stop you having to, so you know they're all in one place, and it's a lot easier if you use your macros. Especially if you've got controllers and stuff like that, then you can link it all up and it's a lot easier just to connect it all to macros. Your second macro, we're going to be connecting this to the attack on the envelope, whichever one you used. We're connecting it to the attack on that, and you want to bring that down to about 15. And then we're going to link that to the wavetable position, FM sub, or the warp, and the level on both of the oscillators. On oscillator A, we're going to want to bring it down to about 80. And then on the warp function, bring it down to be around about between 10 and 15, and then your level is going to be really small. You're not even going to notice it. Around about -4 to -10, that sort of area. On B, we're going to want the wavetable position at around 55. Take your warp modulation to around -15, and then the level again is going to be really fucking tiny, about 3 to 5, and that's spot on. And that's your second macro sorted. Call that wave, not wav blah blah. Keep doing that. Wave sorted. Your third macro, you're going to be connecting this to the sustain on your envelope, on the envelope 2, and then the FM on oscillator A again. Take your FM modulation down to around 35, and then the sustain modulation, we're going to be bring it back to around -49, 50. That sort of area, and that's that one done. This gives it a bit more snappiness, really, and it's quite nice. Your fourth macro, we are going to be taking that to the rate on your third LFO. And we're going to be taking that back, way back, to about -10. And then on the effects, it's going to be on your mix for your flanger, your flanger, whatever it is, take that all the way, and then on your distortion mix as well, all the way. And that's it for your macros. For your mod wheel, we are going to be taking this onto the release of the envelope. Now, your mod wheel is really fucking fun to get involved with. If you don't use it, then you should be using all of these for your patches, and because they'll make your life a lot easier. And it's just, you'll notice your sounds getting a lot more variation as you play with these. And you know, if you just link them up to whatever, it's so easy, there's really no excuse not to. So yeah, take your release to about 16, and you want to take this to your filter cutoff again, bring it down to around 40-ish, and then you can. Why is this going to? Where's it going now? Oh, you bastard! Fucked it, didn't I? Fucked it, didn't I, boys? No, don't want that on there, do we? We want the mod wheel on there. Sorry, I'm sorry. All right. So that, yeah, about 39 on there, and then you can also, you know, you can take it up, put it on the coarse pitch for your oscillators if you want. If you want a little bit of extra fuckery, you know, that's up to you to play around with. Alright, so we've made the patch. It looks good. Let's give it a whirl. You just play around. Sound that you like. And that's it. You can, if you want, you can switch out your wavetables if you've got custom wavetables, and you can switch them out for that if you want. But you know, the point of this is it's just just to show what sort of different interesting sounds you can make. Ideally this is for, you know, deep dubstep and like, you know, just low key bass music, stuff you just want to vibe to, basically. Chill with your mates, listen to it, you know, nothing spectacular. And then when you go into your post processing, you can put what the fuck ever you want on it. Put fucking distortion plugins on it. You can, you know, you can EQ shit out. You can do whatever you want, basically. But yeah, save that. Call it what you want. Type your name there. Little fucking bit of clue there. Double click there for your name. Save it into your user preset folder. And yeah, we're done. If you like this, then, you know, let me know in the comments below. If there's any ideas or tips that you can give me, then let me know. I'm willing to take it all on board, you know. And if you want to abuse me on Twitter, you can at Arcade Crossfire, all lowercase. Just come at me with some dick pics or something like that, you know. But just, you know, be warned that it's all fair game, so you will get it back, basically. And until next time, I'll see you lot later.